Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all wonderful ages, welcome to the Shot Block. This is episode number 2. For those of you that watched last week, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Make sure you hit like, share, and comment what topic you want me to discuss on next week's show. Nobody did that this week, so I'm going based off of what a few friends of mine have asked me to talk about, and we're going to touch on a couple of things. We're not going to go into baseball, leaving that one alone for a little bit. You know, pitchers and catchers report pretty soon, and there'll be a lot to discuss when it comes down to it. But for now, I'm going to leave it alone. We're going to get into NHL hockey, we're going to get into some NCAA basketball, and we're definitely covering the NFL playoffs. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's get moving. NHL hockey. There's 2 teams that stand out to me, personally. The Edmonton Oilers is one of them. This team is good. Connor McDavid, excuse me. I apologize. To Connor, I really apologize to you for screwing that name up. I don't know where I got McGregor from, but Connor McDavid, you are the man. You're looking like Ovechkin did when he was your age. Keep it up, kid. And 2 goals last night against Chicago, but then again, everybody scores against Chicago. I don't even know if they're keeping any goalies between the pipes anymore. But Oilers, you've won 15 straight. You're 23-3 in the last 26 games. That is some damn good hockey. The team that could probably rival them, in my personal opinion, whether or not they're the second best in hockey or even the third best, that's up for debate. But the Boston Bruins, first in the Atlantic Division, 7 points against Florida, or over Florida. They're good. They're real good. They're 39-9, or 39-9. Just beat the Senators 3-2. They're the best in the East, in my personal opinion. I'm just glad we don't have to play them as many times as we used to. God. And thinking of that, the Capitals, they suck. Well, they don't suck. They're a middle-of-the-road team. Though they've lost 3 straight, now getting Lindgren back in between the pipes after his injury, and he's not looking that great. We need help between the pipes. We need a goaltender, because Kemper, you suck. Lindgren, you're decent, but you're not looking like the same Lindgren as before before your injury. Strome, he's got 30 points. He's leading the team, 18 goals, not too shabby. Carlson, 24 assists. Keep feeding the puck, baby. Keep feeding it. Now feed it to Ovechkin. We need some goal scoring out of him. He's only got 8 on the season, which my prediction of 40 looks really bad right now. Hopefully you'll get going, Ovi. We love you, buddy. You know I love you. It just needs you to have a little bit more production. So we're going to move on. Make sure you hit like, share, and comment what topics you want me to talk about next week below in the comment section. I really want to know. I want to get you guys involved. I want to sit there and throw out your names on here as well. So tell me what you want me to talk about. Now we're going to go in and get into NCAA basketball. Gee, I wonder why. And here's what I have to say. Last Saturday, West Virginia, Mountaineers, baby. 91, rock, chalk, go shut the hell up, Kansas Jayhawks. 85. Cue Country Roads. Heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain. Now, let's talk about that for a moment. I know West Virginia turned around and lost to UCF. I get that. It's a hangover game. West Virginia doesn't have the best coaching. Eifert is coming along. He's getting better. Maybe another season with him, and they might be a really solid team. But outside of that, we're up and down. And we beat Texas, then ranked 25th. We lose to Oklahoma, then ranked 15th. And then we beat Kansas. We beat Kansas, number 3 ranked team in the nation. We stormed the court, baby. It was awesome. Yeah, Mountaineers. Let's go. it's one of those things where it's just up and down, up and down, up and down. All the talent in the world on this team. It's not a bad basketball team. Battle is unreal. He put up 23 against Kansas, and he's been doing it since he got back from his suspension, which was a bullshit suspension. He had 20 against Kansas. We got guys that can shoot the ball. We got guys that can pass the ball. We got guys that can play defense. And once we get Edwards back, we can make a run in the Big 12 tournament, I think, if we're not one of the Final Four teams looking in. And that is the question. Can we get to that point? I'm not sure that we can. I'm hoping. I'm rooting every game. That's for sure. We're going to get a little bit more into that, West Virginia, on a later date. In the meantime, we're going to talk about the top 25 real quick. I want to get my notes out here. UConn holds strong at number 1 for another week. Purdue sitting there right there at second. I would flip-flop these two teams personally. I think Purdue is the best team in the nation, especially with that center. North Carolina moved up 1 to number 3. There's a typical blue blood. Not too bad of a team. They're pretty damn good, but the ACC is kind of weak, in my personal opinion. The Mountain West might get as many teams as the ACC and the Pac-12 combined into the tournament. What does that tell you? And that's the Mountain West. Houston holding at 4. Tennessee rounds up the top 5. Now, Tennessee is an intriguing team. SEC is not a bad basketball conference. They usually are middle of the row. Tennessee and Kentucky are looking like the big dogs in that conference right now. Speaking of Kentucky, they're sitting at 6. Trey Mitchell, I hope you fall flat on your face. Just saying it. Traitor. Auburn's sitting there at 6. Auburn's sitting there at 8. Kansas was sitting at 7. They dropped back from 3 after that West Virginia loss, which can't say that I blame them for dropping them, but they'll move right back into probably a number 1 seed. I think your number 1 seeds for the tournament as of this moment, you got to say Kansas. I think Purdue, UConn, and you can make a case for either North Carolina or Houston as the top 4 seeds moving into the tournament at this moment. Duke is sitting there holding at number 12. Oklahoma's at 11. Arizona, number 9. Which is interesting because Arizona coming into the Big 12. Basketball team is usually pretty good, so we're going to, with losing Texas and Oklahoma, I think we're going to be just fine basketball-wise. We're going to stay the best basketball conference in all the NCAA. Couple other surprising teams. I'm actually shocked that Florida Atlantic is sitting there at 22. Same with BYU at 21. I'm not surprised that New Mexico has moved into the top 25. That's a good basketball team. Only 3 losses. They can pass the ball. They can shoot the ball. That's a team in the tournament to look out for. Circle them. Circle that team, New Mexico. You got other teams that are in the top 25 that are typically there that are smaller, like Creighton. Creighton's a scary school. That could be a Sweet 16 team. So we'll see what happens as it gets a little closer to NCAA tournament time. Keep tuned for that. I will be doing a full NCAA tournament show, and that will be released on a Wednesday, considering the tournament really gets started on Thursday. Alrighty, let's move into the next topic, the NFL. Wow. Was I pretty good last week at my predictions? 1 all 4. Texans and Ravens. Final score 34-10. The game was close at half. C.J. Stroud was fun to watch for about 5 minutes. The Ravens defense just shut him and the Texans offense down. The Texans defense held Lamar in check for about half, and then Lamar said, "This is my game, and I'm going to run truck over you." And that's exactly what he did. So it was pretty spot on with that. Packers and 49ers. This was actually a really good football game. I was rooting on the Packers to win this. Didn't mind seeing the underdog in this one, but I was right on par. 49ers 24, Packers 21. Again, that game came down to the end. Jordan Love's a good quarterback. Just Brock Purdy and company, Mr. Irrelevant, just too much. And the defense. That 49ers defense is pretty good. They had to clamp down on Green Bay in the second half there. Bucks and Lions. Lions offense is just too much. Again, another one that were pulled away at the half, after the half. Bucks 23, Lions 31. And then the game of the week. The game everybody wanted to watch, I believe. Chiefs, Bills, Allen, Mahomes. Hey, Bills, I have a question. What were you thinking trying to go for that fake punt? Now, granted, the Chiefs didn't score off of that, but you punt that back, you play field position ball. That's what you do. What were you thinking? And then to miss another kick. Can we put this kicker into a bust and put him next to Scott Norwood's bust? You know, the head. Let's do that, because they need to be right next to each other. Oh, poor Scott Norwood. He's still catching crap after all these years, I guess. You tie that game, you have a shot in overtime, but then again, you're still giving the ball back to Mahomes, and who knows what will happen with that. So, that was a fun weekend of football, don't you think? Now, let's get into the AFC and NFC championship games. First, let's start with the AFC, Chiefs and Ravens. This is probably going to be the premier game of the weekend. Chiefs and Ravens. It's going to be 49 degrees in Baltimore. Another road game for Mahomes. He's 1-0 in road games in the playoffs in his career. That happened last week. Now he's getting a little bit better weather. The Ravens are giving 4.5. And the over-under on this is 44.5. My prediction is going to be like this. Lamar Jackson's going to be a little bit too strong. I think the Ravens' defense is just that much better. I think the Ravens end up pulling this out in a tight game, 24-20, with at least one defensive score. Mahomes, sorry, buddy. I hate to bet against you. I would never really typically do that, but in this case, I have to. Even though your receivers were able to catch balls last week, there's still a big question mark whether or not they can actually catch, except for Rice. And, of course, Mrs. Swift. So, with that being stated, I'm going Ravens again, 24, Chiefs 20, and we're going to move on from this. Let's see. Lions, 49ers. The weather kind of benefits the Lions because they're used to a dome, 72-degree weather. Now, whether or not it'll be windy, I'm not sure, but it's going to be 69 degrees in Santa Clara. San Fran is actually giving 7.5 points. The over-under is 51.5. I'm right around the over-under. I think it's going to be slightly over 55 points being scored in this game. I don't think the Niners win. I think the Lions are a team of destiny to get to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying win it, to get to the Super Bowl. I think their offense is too strong. The 49ers defense, as good as it is, they've been taking a lot of heat. They've been giving up some points. We'll see what happens in this game. I like the Lions 31-24. And I don't know. Hey, you could root either way in both these games. It's just, those are my predictions. Remember, these are all my opinions. So make sure you hit like. Make sure you hit comment. Make sure you hit share. Tell me the topics that you want me to talk about. That's where I'm at my best, interacting with you guys. So, folks, I hope to see you all next week. Thank you for tuning in. Again, make sure you hit like, make sure you comment down below, and make sure you share this with your friends. Thanks for coming into the Shop Block, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the games, and I will see you next week.